All right, live we go. Cole here. I decided to stream from the Talk Hole Fitness page because I think that it's really important for people to know that even though you watch me work out, you've watched me lose weight. I lost 20 pounds last summer in the size infomercial. I'm an instructor. I'm Beachbody's Instructor of the Year. Collectively, I've lost over 50 pounds. I have been adamantly working on my health the last 7-8 years. And in 2008, I was in so much pain that I went on a family trip to Disneyland. And after 3 hours of walking around, I couldn't even walk anymore. The swelling in my knees, the other 30 or 40 pounds that I was carrying on my knees at that time was too much pressure, and my arthritis was flaring, and my endometriosis was at its worst. I was getting hospitalized once a year for that. Hypothyroidism, anemia, I always forget because I had so many health problems at that point that I can't even remember all the issues that I had back then at this point. But what I wanted to get at in this video is I didn't get into fitness to even lose weight. That wasn't my focus. I just knew that I couldn't live the way that I was living at 26 years old in 2008-ish. And so I started changing my diet, doing what I could to lose weight, and it wasn't easy. I had a very tumultuous path, as most people do, but that's, again, not what I'm here to discuss today. When I was 19 years old, I decided to get a breast augmentation. It's not something that I had really thought about at all, really. I didn't have a problem with my breast size at that point, but the opportunity was presented to me and the money was there, so I said, sure, why not? What 19-year-old would like some boobs? So I decided to get a breast augmentation in 2000, I think it was the very beginning of 2002, so I was actually 18 years old, right before my 19th birthday. And I was told back then that saline was safe and I would keep these implants for the rest of my life. Potentially, but more likely than not, the shelf life is 10 to 15 years. And I was so young that he said, expect to need another procedure. And then, at that point at 19, 15 years might as well be 50. So now we're talking almost 16 years later, right? So over the last few months, my health I just noticed a shift. And initially I thought that I was pregnant because I was having a lot of chest pain. I was going to the bathroom a lot. I was having a lot of headaches, hot flashes, mood swings, very emotional. And I was actually at the Beachbody Summit out in Nashville this year because as Beachbody's Instructor of the Year, I was doing appearances. So as I was there, what most people don't know that was at the conference is I was really, really struggling. I would pull it together to go do appearances and that kind of thing, but in all actuality, the second I could turn off, I would go off into a hallway alone and I would sit down and I would take a nap, or I would go to my car and take a nap and just kind of decompress. And just from doing little bouts of exercise, I was getting this level of nausea that I was like, I have to be pregnant. There's no other explanation for such a drastic change so quickly. So, a month or so goes by, I'm taking pregnancy tests, I'm not pregnant, and we're just like, what's going on? And at that point, it came to my attention, a very good friend of mine, also that has been a mentor for me and someone that I've worked with in the past with a job in Austin, Texas. Katie Sharfin posted a video that she believed that her breast implants were making her sick. And at first I was like, oh, well, I'm not sick. I'm the healthiest I've ever been in my entire life. So implants are not a problem for me. I feel bad for her, but my implants are not an issue. And I'm certainly not going to have surgery for no reason. Like, that's ridiculous. She posted the link to an online Facebook group called Breast Implant Illness Healing by Nicole. And there is over 6,000 women in that group that believe their implants are making them sick. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of all of that. You can Google it, go check out the group, find out more. But as I did my own research, I realized I've been getting regular urinary tract infections, yeast infections, just certain autoimmune type things, or candida overgrowth, or just a lot more. Especially, I shouldn't be getting them with how I eat and my fitness levels and how good I take care of myself. I have not even had a drink of alcohol I'm going in my 5th month. So I really am very clean. So it doesn't make sense that I kept having all of these issues. And I did more research, and honestly, it just made sense. I felt it in my gut. I felt it in my body that as amazing as my life has been, I really believe that that the breast implants have compromised my health over the last 15 years. So I used to get bronchitis every year, pneumonia every year, and just all of these things. So what was reaching the point what I couldn't handle was the fatigue, the dizziness, and the nausea. And the chest pain on this side. And when I lay down, when I sleep at night, this arm falls asleep. But I was saying, oh, maybe it's muscle imbalances, spinal imbalances. I've been to the chiropractor. I have scoliosis that I've, fixed, and I know what I'm doing, and I know my body, and I knew that this is a problem for me. So in doing research, I actually found out that my implants fell out of the pocket, which means they're actually hanging down lower than they should be, and they're pressing on nerves, which is where the pain comes from. So basically, I've decided to start being more authentic and transparent in this journey because there is so much shame around this topic for women, especially women that got implants and believe that they're making them sick, and they're afraid to even tell anyone because they have this feeling that people are going to say, well, you got the implant, so if you're suffering from that, you shouldn't have been so vain, or you shouldn't have, you did this to yourself. And to anyone that might even cross your mind, do you say the same thing to a person with heart disease, blood pressure, diabetes, that you did that to yourself because you wanted to appease your taste buds? Because I ask you, what's the difference? We all make choices in our life that we are the ones that deal with the consequences. And I've decided to be transparent in my journey while I go through this to hopefully free other people to not be imprisoned by their choices. I am not my implants. I don't put my boobs out there and my cleavage and all that other stuff. I did this because at that time, I was like, sure, boobs. Society tells us that boobs are amazing. Society tells us that boobs make us a woman, that they make us more feminine, that they make us sexy. And I will tell you right now that we are not our boobs. We are not our breasts. And I know that it's really, really hard, especially for the women that have had to have mastectomies because of cancer. And we are programming our children, our little girls, to think that if they don't have boobs, they are not a woman, that they are not beautiful. This has got to stop right now. The reason I want to share my story is because I'm ready to be free of the vanity that is our society. I don't care if I get unfollows because I no longer have any boobs, because coming this November, I'm removing my implants and I'm not getting any new ones. I don't care if I'm a double A. I will be 100% authentically myself. So, to any women out there that are thinking about getting implants, If you don't do the work on the inside, the implants are not going to make you feel beautiful. They might put a Band-Aid on a gaping wound for a short period of time, but they are not going to fix what's really going on. And I'm watching in all of these groups of women with breast implants that are sick. There are women that are coming up with symptoms that look like Lyme's disease, and they don't have Lyme's disease. They're getting fibromyalgia because their body is in such a heightened state of inflammation that it can't fight anything anymore. So I ask you, at what price is your vanity? I don't prance around and work out to look cute. It's nice. I love my body. But that is only the byproduct of being aligned with feeling empowered, with feeling energized, with feeling... All right. Gotta love technology when you're in a nice, vulnerable moment. But don't worry, I'm gonna post the two videos, this video and the other together, so you can watch the whole thing in full. I'm basically just gonna come to say this to you guys, that the last 2 months have been some of the most trying months of my entire life. When Ta and I decided that we would have a baby, that we would have a family, I put out into the universe that I wanted to be in the best condition that I could be. That's why no more alcohol, no more putting anything into my body that makes me sick or doesn't give me the optimal ability to care for that first experience a baby will have, which is inside my body. I didn't know when I told the universe that I wanted to be in the best condition I could, and when telling the universe that I would do whatever I have to get my baby's first nursery in its tip-top condition, that it would show me the truth of what's going on in my body, and it's that these implants are not supposed to be there. They're not. And I am so blessed to have a partner and a husband that does not, and listen, he's a boob man like most men, but he loves me and my breasts at whatever they are. Not whether they're a D cup or an A cup or a whatever. But there are a lot of women with men, with partners, that are putting more pressure on them to get implants or to keep implants. And if you are one of these women, then you are not with the right person. Because if you are getting implants for somebody else, you are living for somebody else. And that means that the success of the relationship is dependent on the breasts remaining, which is absolutely insane. So these last 2 months, I've been in and out of doctors. I've been to the ER because it actually reached a point that my speech was getting slurred, and we were afraid that there might be something neurologically going on that we can't see that could potentially kill me. So sitting in an emergency room and not knowing what's going on, and being in and out of the doctor, getting blood tests, getting ultrasounds, and I'm getting all of my panels back, my blood work, that everything is perfect. I don't have any deficiencies. You guys, I take really good care of myself. So I've done the work. The only thing left is my implants. And to be honest with you, even if my dizziness, my nausea, my numbness on this side, the pain in my chest, the constant yeast and urinary tract infections, even if my implants are not the cause of those, I'm ready to let them go. I don't regret it. I don't say I wish I never would have, because that is not how I live my life. I don't even waste that kind of energy, because everything proves to serve us. Everything is a teacher if we'll look at it that way. And I'll tell you, the last few days I've been working with an amazing herbalist and herbal company called Barlow Herbal. They're based out of Sandy, Utah. And she gave me a plant called Lomatium dissectum, which is related to the parsley family, to fight all the mold in my body, to fight all of the infections in my body. And I got this crazy full body rash that I'm at the tail end of now, and it was one of the toughest experiences of my entire life. But I can already feel the difference, and she's helping me detox and prepare my body leading up to the surgery and for 3 months after the surgery. I'm gonna go under major surgery in Dallas, Texas, because insurance doesn't cover this kind of stuff, right? But the physical pain and the chance, even the chance that my symptoms could be from my implants, means I'm going to keep working through process of elimination to figure out what's going on, because I'm not settling for okay anymore. I've been so grateful for the health, and I've been so grateful for where I am that I thought that's as good as it gets. And now I'm realizing it's not. As I continue to align myself, my heart, my mind, my body, my spirit, I realize that I'm just getting started. So I'm gonna start sharing this journey with you guys more, because I literally have been in tears because I've never been so tired, so exhausted, so spent, and days that I'm lying on the floor before I go teach a class because I don't think that I can do it, with no end in sight. When I found out it wasn't pregnancy, it was like, but then then there's no end. There's no, the first trimester and the nausea stops. So I am gonna share more authentically the whole truth, not just what you guys get to see online. I am positive, and just because I get in rough places doesn't change how grateful and amazing I feel. It just means I still have hard days too. It just means that I'm here to do the work. And in order to have the kind of life you want to have, you must do the work. So I love you guys so much. And if you are looking to find out more information, just Google breast implant illness. Of course, there is more to it than just implants. If you're not changing your diet, if you're eating an inflammatory foods, if you're eating foods and you've got candida overgrowth, all of that is going to contribute. But I'm doing all that work. Commit to yourself. I'm committing to myself, and I'm committing to you to share my journey to alignment and to freedom and to actual self-love in a way that I've never experienced. So let's get free. I love you. I will see you all soon. Hugs and kisses and all that jazz, and start working on the inside. Don't cut your body. Don't hurt your body. To put in implants underneath the muscle, they cut your muscle. How does that seem okay? Stop hurting your body. It's done so much for you, and you don't give it any credit. And if you don't start being grateful, it's going to start to shut down. Just like any relationship, if there isn't gratitude and if there's no care, then there's no point. Take care.